Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm King Posh, your host for today's show. So, this is the second time I'm making this video. My Elgato decided to mess up. I had the car tuned. I probably talked for half an hour. We worked on the car and everything, and it got corrupted. So, I have to start all over. So, I already had the car. I took off all the upgrades. The tuning setup, I just deleted it completely because I want to show you guys how I start everything and how I make everything from scratch. So I got to start it all over again. Now things are already bought, and we really can't change any of that stuff now. This is the story of my life. So let's get right into it. Alright, I used the stock powertrain. You guys can use any engine you want. Alright. Stock drivetrain, rear-wheel drive. This is what the whole video is all about. I'm going to put a turbo on it. Alright. Because now, I was saying in the past video, before this all started, see, I left the stock. We're going just stock. We could go wide and add weight to it, but we're not. We're going to keep this thing light. What was I talking about? I don't even know. I'm kind of flustered at the moment. We're going to use drag tire compound. Alright. And we're going to max the front width to the front. Alright. And then we're going to go to this 235 in the rear. So the front and the rear are the exact same size. Oh yes, that's what I was thinking about. Before the update, superchargers were great for rear-wheel drive. There was really no boost kick to kick you sideways when you're going sideways and you're flooring it, and that boost just kicks in. Well, in a turbo, you would just spin out. And a supercharger, it would eliminate that happening. But since now that we have a tire angle kit, we can now use turbos and not have to worry about the kick, because the tire angle itself just fixes that. There's a minus 49 pounds, so we're making this as light as possible. The rims are at 14 each, 14 in the front, 14 in the rear. Alright, so I don't need to touch any of that. You guys can if you want to, that's up to you. Like I said, basic tune. Alright, and I like using drag tires. I try other tires every once in a while, but gearing just becomes more of a havoc and a pain to me. So I just take the easy route. The angle kit. Alright, we're leaving the stock chassis roll cage. You guys can. It adds a lot of weight. Since I'm running at a low horsepower, 442 exact, as I already know, because my last video messed up. And it does really, really well. Yep, 442 horsepower. It was a 675. before. Now it's a 674. Did I get everything on here? Or is it just messing with me? Yes. Yes, it's just messing with me today. Alright, that's okay. What's one digit? Let you guys show. I'm doing a rear-wheel drive. I have an all-wheel drive up, but we're not doing that. I don't even have a rear-wheel drive up. So this shows you guys I'm doing everything from scratch here. So yeah. We are gonna go max tire pressure just because of the low horsepower. We want to constantly mangy drift now, and we'll go with that. Gearing. Yeah, I was messing around with this, and I'll have to re-go to that again. All right, so we're gonna go with the basic tune here. All right, we're gonna just set this up, and then I'll talk about it. All right, steering angle is at 60%. All right, so camber. For rear-wheel drive, this setup works really well. This would be a straight build. You can drive straight down the road with this and then take drifts as you please. This is a great setup for people just starting out. Let's not get too hectic with everything. You know, I want a basic tune just that gets me started into drifting. This is your tune. All right, you want to do a little bit more advanced. All right. There's more advanced. You can go this way. You can do it this way here. This is a great setup. If you already know the basics of drifting, try it this way. And you can still keep it at 1.4 and 1.4 also. If you don't like running positive camber, then you can also do this. This stuff, this is just what I run, so this is just how we're gonna do it. You could just zero things out. With the steering angle kit, a lot of this just becomes obsolete. But if you want more control with your cars, more snappy decisions, definitely run it this way. Anti-roll bars, if you guys want to know how I get my straight numbers, I do that. I go all the way soft or all the way stiff. So we're going to go... yeah, we're just going to make this simple. I'll come up with some numbers here in a second, actually. Let me look at something that's rear-wheel drive. And it's usually what I would run on all my rear-wheel drives, because the anti-roll bars really don't get changed much. Yep, there we go. So we'll go 2960. Okay, and 2385. Or close to it. And really, you can just do that. Alright, springs. Same thing as before. You guys are wondering how I'm like zeroing out my numbers and everything? This is just how I do it. I go over these. Sometimes I get zeros, sometimes I don't. But I always go with the lowest number, which is a 2. Alright. Everybody's different. This, I'm going to run in a 655. If that's too much for you, take it down by 100s and still use the 55 and the 36. See, that's a 3 and 8. I don't want a 3 and 8. Okay, I want the 2. See? Now, if this is too stiff for you, like I said, this is what you do. Take it down to these. And you take this down. There. And that's just what you do. You just take it down by 100s. And see how it goes. Go all the way up to the top if you want. And see what works best for you. 36. There we go. And I'm going to go as low as possible. I try to keep these even numbers. Sometimes you got to move them around and make them even. Sometimes you won't even get them to be even. But you try your best. Dampening. I haven't changed this dampening in many years. This is just great right here for you guys to start out with. And then you can really play with everything here. In some cars, I've even just, made my bump stiffness stiff as I can. And that works really well too, if you don't like the back end bouncing a lot. I like it because when I'm going fast, all that weight goes to the rear and it just pushes down on the rear suspension and you just slide. That's just what I like. No downforce. If you ever get downforce, you can't take it off. Take these both and put them down to speed. Alright. Braking force, rear wheel drive, I don't really touch it, but that's your preference and everybody tunes different. So that's up to you what you want to do. Alright. So we'll do that. The differential's not too bad already. This is a great number. You can also max them out if you want to. But anything 70 plus is good. So we'll do 70, 78. Alright. Gearing, we're going to need gearing. This is probably not going to drift well. So we'll see what we can do. Let's see here. 4-1. I made it slower. That's okay. What about now? It's still slow. But that's, like I said, fine. We'll bring them down here. Basic setup. It takes me upwards to about 45 minutes to an hour to get gearing right. Because I'll just be going around the course and constantly test drive, and whatnot. Just hitting this and just working it. Yeah, see, it's on test drive. Don't want test drive. I want drift. I want that track. Advanced rolls. I go to rolling. Alright. And put it right to standing. Because I don't want to roll. I want to just go to it. Other things you guys need to know. What assists am I running? There are my assists. You can see what I'm running. Hopefully that helps you out to figure out what you're supposed to do. And you can just pause at any time and do the same thing. There's other options, yeah. My HUD. Let me show you what my HUD is. Everything's pretty simple here. We got the drift HUD. You want drift HUD on so you can have points show up. If you're a points drifter, drift HUD helps when you're testing cars, test driving and tuning. That helps. Yep. And I have my track limits on, approximately arrows on, and stuff in that matter. So, good stuff. Let's go to race and let's see how this basic tune does. Before I pulled a 71 with it, 71, 72, somewhere around there. And then positive's probably around 74, 75. So positive can give you more points and it's easier to control, but we're showing you basic tunes and that's where we're going to start. Like I said, I have to get right to the gearing. That's another video. That probably won't happen because that would be pointless. It does really well. That gearing, I don't like. Yeah, everything's a little off with it. Gearing can really mess up your score. You gotta have that right. Look at that, 72. But that gearing is just garbage. Before I fine-tune everything, what I like to do is let's bring this up. Yep, there it is. That one's quicker. Bring that up there. That there. Yep. Yeah. And there. And then when I get it figured out, then I can do fine tweaking back and forth and trying to make it as quick as possible, keep it right where the red line is and stuff like that. We are also now going to try what positive looks like. Alright, we're going to keep these numbers the same and all we're doing is changing these numbers. And of course I changed the gearing, but whatever. That gearing is not finalized, so I'm not worried about it. That third gear, see, this is just what I would be doing. When it really gets down to it, now I'm at third. I really wanted to stay right above that red line, so then that would mess up that, so we'll take that up and we'll go with that. I don't like my gears being far in between each other. Take my time. Third is better. See, drag tires this is just why I like drag tires. They're easier to work with. Especially in like a beginner state. Because I mean, you're running stock tires, you know, and you start to give up pretty quickly because you spin out a lot more, you have issues, and you know the whole story about it. We want to drift, have fun, but we want it to be easy too. We don't want a challenge. I want a challenge. I'll go in real life and do it. A little fast. Gearing still needs work on, but this is tuning for you, and I mean, I could spend an hour on this car. Or more. It's just tweaking. Yeah, look at that. Lower number. Come on, keep drifting. That's the hard part, is just constantly drifting. I gotta get used to. Alright, that's a 10,000. 11. 12. 13,000. When I say basic tune, this basic tune you're putting on any car you want. Any rear-wheel drive car. You know, I just want to classify that. Front engine, mid-engine, rear engine, Porsche, you name it. Just use those basics. And it's a great starter. You don't have to touch much, as you can tell. It does deliver. There's a 70. I will get to that at a date. 75,000 is great for rear-wheel drive on this track. I've made it a basis for me. 75,000 or better for rear-wheel drive is good to share. Of course, this car still needs a lot of work. But we're not worried about that at this time. Well, hey guys, I hope this video helped you out. Just like the basics, gearing is your biggest issue, though. That's the hardest part of the whole tune, is gearing. So have at it. And hopefully that basic setup helps you out. And hope to see you on the track someday. Peace out. I'm King Posh.